We begin with the Philippines. A typhoon named Fung-Wong hit the region and left a trail of destruction. At least 2 people died and more than 1 million people were evacuated. The weakening of the typhoon has now swept out of the Philippines and into the South China Sea. The storm, known locally as Typhoon Uwan, struck the northeastern province of Aurora late Sunday as super typhoon. It brought torrential rain and winds that tore down power lines, uprooted trees and triggered landslides across much of the Luzon island, including parts of the capital, Manila.
The wind became really strong in the morning. We were shocked when the glass broke. It didn't hit anyone, but the wind was so strong, the jalousie broke.
Rescue teams in Aurora province said they were only beginning to assess the extent of the damage after heavy rains, and high flood waters made it impossible to mobilize overnight. In nearby Dingulan, powerful waves had smashed dozens of coastal homes and fishing boats. Authorities confirmed at least 2 deaths. A woman crushed beneath debris while attempting to evacuate in Samar province, and another person who drowned in a flash flood in Catanduanes. In Cagayan province, evacuees said that they had no choice but to flee. Defense officials said over 1.4 million people were evacuated nationwide as the storm approached. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. placed the country under a state of emergency following the compounded devastation from both typhoons. Pope Leo also offered prayers for people of the Philippines.
Sono vicino.
My thoughts are with the people of the Philippines affected by a violent typhoon. I pray for the deceased and their families, for the injured and displaced.
E gli sfollati.
The State Weather Bureau said Fung-Wong's center was last spotted moving northwest over the South China Sea and heading towards Taiwan, continuing to weaken as it moved over cooler waters. At its peak, the super typhoon packed sustained winds of 185 kilometers per hour and gusts of up to 230 kilometers per hour. This was powerful enough to cover nearly 2/3 of the Philippine peninsula with its massive 1,600-kilometer wide wind and rain band. It was the second major storm to batter the country in a week, following Typhoon Kalmaegi, which claimed at least 224 lives in the central Philippines before heading towards Vietnam, where it killed 5 more. The Philippines, one of the world's most disaster-prone nations, is struck by around 20 typhoons every year and frequently endures earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. As Fung-Wong makes way, the country is left grappling with widespread flooding, damaged infrastructure, and the daunting task of rebuilding yet again. Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all 3 just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.